Um, I'm here today to talk about the Alaska Seed Distribution Project. So this is something that is in partnership with the Alaska Food Bank. And so to get started, what is it? The big idea is to connect food insecure households with easy to grow seeds, instructions for planting, growing, harvesting, and seed saving from those plants as a way to, not give people a one-time box of food, but hopefully plant the seed of gardening in their communities and give them food for years. So one of our goals is to make sure that these seeds are packaged for easy distribution by the food bank, because as you all can imagine right now, they are slammed. So they can't add extra steps to what their normal tasks are, but they are really excited and more than happy to add seeds to what they normally package out in a broader effort to help these households. So why am I talking about this right now? Due to the virus, which we are all, I'm sure, very aware of, fresh, healthy foods are more important than ever in keeping our communities healthy. This has been backed up by research done by the Geisinger Health System, showing that they specifically studied folks with diabetes, and they showed that every dollar spent on fresh foods that people actually eat can return 100x in cost savings to a health system. That's huge. So in my mind, the more we can boost people's immune systems and get them onto the healthy, fresh food lifestyle, the fewer people are going to need to get admitted in the coming months. And this is made even more important by the fact that not all communities in Alaska have easy access to healthcare. And another point to the urgency is this is pulled from the USDA's website, showing the relationship between food insecurity and employment status. So this is a graphic from, I think it was 2018. And you can see that the unemployment is the unemployment or part-time for economic reasons. Those are some of the two highest groups for food insecurity. And our unemployment numbers are about to skyrocket. So a lot more households and families are getting pushed into the food insecure or very food insecure categories. Why now, but also why here? Alaska, we have an extremely long food supply chain. It can take a few weeks for a banana to get up here. And in that time, because vitamins decrease at an exponential rate in produce, that means a banana here is not the same thing as eating a banana in Mexico in terms of nutritional value. So keeping it local, or even ideally keep growing local, hyper-local even, is really our best strategy to make sure that our population is as healthy and nourished as possible. And again, by keeping people as healthy as possible, we can reduce hospitalizations and also increase the resilience of our communities for Alaska's future. So, how can you help? Today is going to be a very brief workshop. So what I'm hoping to get from you all, and please feel free to speak, because with this as full screen, I can't see the chat, is what seeds should we be trying to select? Because I'm a gardener in South Central. I am by no means a growing expert, and I'm not certainly not outside of my small area of experience. So with that, I would like to open this up to you. And if you think that we should break down the regions further, please speak up and say so. So what is the easiest vegetable to grow in the Southeast?
Potato.
Whoop. Oh no. All right, I'm exiting out of presentation mode. There we go. Okay, potato.
Yep. Rhubarb.
Ooh, good one. Yeah.
And garlic and kale, of course.
Yeah, kale's a favorite for me because I can set it and forget it.
Yep, those are the ones that I would say grow the best.
Okay. And for South Central? Well, I'm going to throw in kale because it's so easy for me.
Potatoes and carrots.
Anything else?
Beets.
Ooh.
Cabbage.
Zucchini.
Squash.
All right. Have you had any luck with any beans or peas?
We do lots of peas and green beans. My son said cover crop is easy to grow. You just spread the seeds around and they do their thing.
Oh, okay, growing them as a cover crop.
Yeah, but
I've
we
had
also
a lot of
have peas and
success.
green beans to sell too. We use peas in our cover crop, a different type of peas.
Okay.
On your Southeast list,
Mhm.
zucchini, carrots, beets, lettuce, and chard. And they're in the chat comments in case you need to get those again.
Okay.
Nettles.
Save in the chat. Don't worry about. We'll save the chat and send it to you later too.
Okay. And nettles?
Yes, stinging nettles.
Lamb's quarters.
All right. How about the Northwest?
Potatoes, kale, sourdock.
Sourdock?
Mm-hmm. D-O-C-K.
Okay. Then the interior?
Pretty much everything in the South Central list for the most part.
Okay. And Western Alaska? I don't know if we have anyone on from out.
Evelyn's here. She just wrote in the box, potatoes, peas, lettuce, radish, turnip, broccoli, kohlrabi, fiddlehead ferns, wild berries, spinach, cabbage, squash, wild spinach, wild celery.
I'll have to get the rest of those later. Thank you. And is anyone here from the Aleutians?
I've done work out there. I know they can grow potatoes for sure. And pretty much anything that's wind and salt hardy. So things like kale, broccoli.
I would say turnip should probably be on all of these lists.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I'll have to try growing those. I've never tried turnips. Is seaweed something? I seem to remember reading an article in ADN talking about seaweed as part of the diet in the Aleutians. Maybe. How about the North Slope?
Well, it depends. If you're in Adigan Pass, you can grow anything in their high tunnel. But if you're outside, then it's lots of native plants, tundra plants.
So like Labrador tea.
Yep.
Okay.
Different greens, beach greens.
Beach green.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Great. Well, thank you. That gives us a place to get started. And then, so this one might be a little bit harder to do as the group, but do you have any tips for growing or harvesting or seed saving for any of these? Because like with carrots, I have no idea how to save a carrot seed.
Go, Jody.
There are a lot of resources out there that have kind of, we talked earlier about reinventing the wheel, and the Cooperative Extension Service certainly has publications that have a tremendous amount of information that you could find here. As far as seed savings, I know that there are businesses that are doing that around the state, but that there are also lots of master gardener groups across the state that are working on seed saving. There are seed libraries that are, I know that Mountain View has a seed library. I know that the Republic of Esther has a seed library. What? Up north. I know that Found Root down in Haines is they're working on seed saving and selling. I know that there's Seeds and Soil Organics in Palmer that is doing seed saving and sales. There are lots of different bits of information and areas of research that have been done across the state that you get most of the information that you're looking for from this slide from those bits.
Great, thank you. Yeah, I have engaged some of the cooperative extension, but I haven't engaged the individual master gardener groups. So that is a great tip. And yeah, I haven't tried reaching out to the seed libraries yet. So I really appreciate that. These are some great resources. So then one other item from our deliverable is how to get these packaged in a way so that the food bank can easily distribute them along with their normal distribution operations. So one way I had thought of is maybe have people, hopefully volunteers in charge of each seed type, package them and then deliver them to their local food bank. But does anyone here have any suggestions along those lines? All right, well, then I guess I'll go with that plan to start with. And then does anyone, I'll open this up to general commentary. Does anyone have any more general suggestions or thoughts about this project? We are still seeking funding, and looking for volunteers, but I'm hoping to continue to get more traction with this.
This is Kyra and Homer. I'm just thinking of Leah and Haynes and Foundroot. I know she went through quite a journey trying to figure out how to package her seeds. So that kind of thing, again, you probably don't have to reinvent that. She could probably help you out a great deal with that.
Thank you.
This is Tia from Kenai, and we have transplanted, I do have seeds for a lot of wild plants, but we transplanted and got traditional food plants and medicinal plants that we grow in raised beds around our health clinic, so that the elders can harvest and talk about the plants there where they can get to them. So I would suggest, finding ways for the elderly, to be able to enjoy the gardening, but they might not be able to start a garden. So maybe youth groups helping to make raised beds for elders where they can access whatever it is you're growing.
This is Kyra again, and this would actually maybe apply more to a food bank like Greg's, but one of my favorite ways for seed saving is actually not saving the seed at all, but just letting the plant go to seed, and then having a crazy sprouting of all kinds of stuff in the spring that you either can transplant into rows or you can collect the seed in the fall. But I've done that with parsnip, for example, and parsnip seed tends to be really delicate, and so I often don't have a lot of luck, certainly not with any seed that's older than a year. So I have just left the parsnips in the ground and let some of them go to seed because they're biennial, they'll come up the next year. In South Central, you can do that. I don't know if that'll work everywhere, but there's certain plants that'll reseed themselves.
That's a great tip, thank you.
This is Heidi in Kenai. Broccoli Rob is a great plant that does that. That's a fantastic reseeder and a plant that you can eat the leaves when it's small, eat the stalk and all the side shoots when it's big, and very underutilized, but it grows well in our part of the state in Kenai Peninsula. I also wanted to suggest, Grace, that I know, at least for our local food bank here, and we haven't heard Greg speak up, they receive a lot of the surplus seed from Home Depot and the other big box stores, donate their seeds in large quantity to the food banks at the end of the year. So I think you would want to get in touch with the food banks and find, well, what are they loaded with? And then you could focus on what they don't get that's also very practical, like seed potatoes. Nobody's donating seed potatoes to the food bank, as far as I know.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure that that's happening in Anchorage, based on the folks that I've talked to. So that could be worth tracking down and maybe finding out what's happening to the seeds at our box stores here. All right, so thank you very much for your input today. And if you are interested in continuing to help, please reach out to me.